Today we're creating a Harry Potter movie night in the Burrow. Hi, I'm Linda with Life on Summer Hill. If you're new here, I would love for you to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss out on future episodes. In the past, around Halloween time, I've done some Harry Potter themed party ideas or decoration ideas. I've done the flying letters in my entryway, which is right behind me. And I have a whole blog post on that I will link in the description below. And then one year I set our table with the most elaborate spread of candies and treats, just like the table in the Great Hall at Hogwarts for Halloween. And then there were even floating pumpkins over the table. So I have all the details if you're interested in that one too. And I'll link that in the description also. But this year we thought, wouldn't it be fun to have a Halloween Harry Potter movie night? And we had a friend that was coming over who's a Harry Potter fan. And so we decided to decorate the living room like the Weasleys' Burrow. So I'm going to walk you through things you can do to transform your living room, dining room into the Weasleycore aesthetic. You don't have to go shopping. You probably have things around your house to pull off the feel and the vibe that the Weasley home created. And that was a home of love, a home of coziness, warmth, and a little bit of magic. So let's get started and we'll talk about the mantle if you have a mantle first. Remember what I said, that the Weasley style is lots of stuff. Lots and lots of stuff. Their home was very rustic. It had a lot of old things. I've never read the book, but people have told me that Arthur, the dad, loved collecting Muggle trinkets. So we've incorporated some of that here, and I'm going to show you up on the mantle some things that will pull together your Weasleycore aesthetic. So first of all, I want you to consider, if you can get your hands on an old window up there, you're kind of bringing in that aesthetic of the Weasley home. And then on top of that, because family was so important to them, we added a family portrait. I basically just printed a picture I found online. It's like 3 pieces of paper and then 3 pieces of paper. And I put it all together and I decoupaged it. Just put you a family portrait, even if it's 8.5 by 11. That's okay. Just enjoy adding the familyness to it. So next we put some Muggle trinkets. So let me turn it around and show you that. Okay, so over here are a few clocks, and this clock we kind of felt like had the vibe of the clock in the house, and then we added this clock. So these are definitely Muggle trinkets. And then an old candlestick holder, and then I used a battery-powered candle. And then on this side, here's a place to put the flea powder. And that is the powder they use to transport themselves to other places. And then a nice basket hanging up here, which actually has been up there for a long time. So we also included the Harry Potter books on the mantle. And then I added this antique ladle and some pumpkins and a crock on the floor. So it's a real easy mantle to do. And the key thing is you don't have to go shopping. Just grab some things that you have and put them around on your mantle or in your room. So we're going to now talk about the furniture in the room. Okay, so there was lots of furniture in the house. It was almost wall-to-wall furniture. So we brought the sofa from my office out here. And another thing about all the upholstered pieces is that they were draped with some sort of blanket. So we tossed a couple of my quilts that belonged to my grandmother. We tossed this one over this chair and added a pillow. We'll talk about pillows in a minute. And then we added another blanket over this one. And then we added a tablecloth over this one. So the idea is coziness, and blankets say cozy. So next are pillows. There weren't an abundance of pillows, but there were definitely pillows on all the pieces of furniture. So I kept my pillows on the chair here. I tossed a pillow on this couch. I put some on the floor just to make it cozy and comfy. And then we added one more pillow here. Now we're going to talk about what goes on the end tables, the coffee table, and the dining table, which we're going to use as the serving table for all the treats for the movie. Okay, so first I'm going to talk about my coffee table. We really wanted to capture that cozy aesthetic for the party, so we filled it up with stuff. So first, put your little tablecloth down to just add to that warm, cozy feeling, and then toss you some books on the table, some lamps, chamber lamps, and lanterns. We added this old bowl with some not real pumpkins in it. And then, of course, some candles, apothecary jars. And we thought it'd be really fun to include this Mancala game. Because if we decide we want to play a game, we've got that here, but it just kind of went with the vibe. So here's how the coffee table turned out. On this side of the room, we had this lamp. It used to belong to my grandmother. So we pulled it out because in the movie, there is a lamp just like this up against the window. So we pulled this lamp out and we thought this would be a great place to include some of the letters from Hogwarts. So we included, and these are in that post I was telling you about the flying letters. So you can go there and find these and print them out. So I have the Weasley's address, Ron Weasley's letter here. And then I have Jenny's here. And then we printed out 2 for the twins and 1 for Harry. I mean, not Harry, Percy? I can't remember his name right now. But anyways, so we included those. And then we already had these writing quills from a trip we did a long time ago. So we added them to the table too. And my candle coffee cup, which I have a DIY on that. I'll put a link to that in the description too. So this is how the table turned out. Okay, so next we're going to walk over to my dining room area and I'm going to talk about the bookcases and what to do with them. And I have a little table in my entryway that's going to kind of be part of the decoration. So we're going to talk about that next. Okay, so for the bookcases, you want to fill it up with books primarily. And then toss in some other things that you may have. If you have any plants, I would include plants, plates, any linens. I even threw some dish towels at one area, some bowls, anything that will fill up your bookcases. So here is how we decorated ours. And don't forget to include Muggle things from the Muggle world, like this old doorknob. This side of the room, in my entryway, I just added an old piece of art and a few more plates and a candle. But what really makes this space is the clothes that are hanging. So now we're going to talk about the walls. I used command hooks to hang a Hogwarts robe here. This is actually a sweater from Universal Studios that my daughter found at Goodwill. This is my husband's hat, which kind of has that old Scottish look to it, since this family kind of has that vibe to them. And then I used a plaid down here. Another thing you can add to your walls are old rugs or tapestry kind of things. We added this rug over our doorway just to really warm up and give it that nice, cozy vibe. And then over on this side of the room, I took an old picture frame and I printed out, I designed this Weasley cross stitch. If you look in the movie, there is actually a cross stitch. Like, I think it was over the stairs. So all I did was print out paper and stick it all on here. And from a distance, you almost can't even tell. So now I'm gonna work on the centerpiece for the table. So I'm gonna tilt this down so you can watch. But basically, there's a scene in the movie where the family's at the table and there's lots of stuff down the center of the table. So this is where we're gonna serve popcorn and other things. So I'm gonna remove my dough bowl and I'm gonna put some bread and some snacks and other things down the middle of the table. So we're definitely gonna need a pitcher for the drink. And then I bought this bread here at Trader Joe's. But you can get any bread. I'm using some old jars for like some finger snacks that we can put a spoon in and spoon those out. So I've got this old green bowl, so I'm gonna put lots of popcorn in it. Look at this old, I don't know what you call this. Look at this. I'm just gonna put it on the table. I think it looks kind of cool. The idea is like old things. Yeah, we'll put a few of these here. We'll put a few down here. Let me go get some more old looking mugs because we want them to all mismatch. Okay, so I'm gonna squat down. Goodwill and thrifting is a great place to get these mugs. Now, I had this one, which is actually like a creamer, so I'm gonna put it next to my pitcher. But these were my husband's moms and dads, and they actually have their names on it. Actually, no, that one's got Marty's name on it. But aren't they kind of cool? I feel like they go with that vibe. So let's put them on the table. So, because nobody's probably going to sit at this table, you can spread this out more. It doesn't have to be like a centerpiece. You can spread it out more and let guests pick, from whatever they want. Now, in this picture, this would be a great picture to do my friend Mel's Polyjuice potion drink, because it's so funny. You guys have to go check it out. I'll put a link in the description. But it's it comes out kind of green color like a potion, and she has this little like eyeball in there. So I think it'd be funny floating in this. That would be hilarious. So we've got some apples, we've got some popcorn, we've got some bread. I think we need some like cookies. So we got cookies, we got bread, we've got popcorn, and we've got apples. So, and then we're gonna put Polyjuice potion in here. Oh, Mel also has a butterbeer recipe. that is really good. And we'll probably make some of that and put it out too, maybe on this table. But I just got to figure out what I'm going to put it in. But for right now, I think this is a good stopping place. I'm going to put a few serving pieces in here, like some knives to cut this, and some spoons in case anybody gets coffee. And I think we're good. When you set your table, go into your bedrooms, go into your office, bring all the chairs and make mismatched chairs. I have one more thing I need to add. Remember me talking about when I did the entryway with the flying letters? Well, I painted this decoy, owl decoy, Hedwig, and I made him to go in there. So we're going to use him in here as a part of the decoration. Okay, so now we've got the furniture situated, the upholstered pieces, the tables, we've got the centerpiece on the table done for the party, the bookcases, we've even talked about the walls. We're missing something. What are we missing, right? Like, I literally sat and was like, what am I missing? And then my daughter said, Mom, you're missing some magic. So here's a few magical ideas that we implemented into the room. You don't have to use these if you don't want to, but it'll make it fun and it'll give all your guests a good giggle. Over here in the chair, we have the magic crochet blanket, and I'll show you an idea of how you can actually get that to work. I used fishing line and hooked it all the way up into hooks in the ceiling. So the two outer fishing line pieces are connected to the actual crocheting needles. And then the center ones are connected here. They go all the way up and around to the back of the sofa. So the only way I have figured out that you can make this move without a person actually moving it is to get an oscillating fan that moves back and forth, and that will move it. So the next project, and this was by far the most fun project, and that is a robot vacuum cleaner broom. So Molly definitely uses her witch's power to get in there and clean her house. In fact, the book even mentions that that witch's power holds the house together, because if you look at it theoretically, there's no way it could be standing without help. So what we did was we followed the TikTok where they show how to make this, and I've linked that in the blog post. So this broom actually detaches. It's velcroed down. It's made with raffia, and it is so funny. I'm gonna turn it on. Okay, so now that you've got everything set up, let's talk about the place where the movie is going to be showed. So before the party starts, I want to talk about something you can put on the TV. You can go to YouTube and you can search for Weasley, Burrow sounds, and listen, you can have sounds going on in your house when all your guests arrive. So while they're grabbing snacks and getting ready, pop this up on your TV. You can find it on YouTube and just search Weasley Burrow. I will put a link to this one in the description below so you can use it. But they're really fun and they're really great. Now that we have everything in place, are you ready to see it all together? Here we go. So are you ready to give this Harry Potter movie night party idea a try? It was so simple. You can use a lot of the things you already have or go thrifting and get things for cheap. It was a lot of fun. So I want to thank you so much for joining me here at Life on Summer Hill. Again, please subscribe and ring the bell if you're new here so you don't miss out on future episodes. If you have any wonderful ideas to go with this Weasleycore aesthetic, please comment below. Or if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you next week, Sunday night, 7 p.m. Bye.